And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Inkforged. This is a classic fantasy tabletop RPG where you can imbue your gear, your weapons, with magically charged ink. The game is highly detailed, but it is still very simple to understand. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released Future no no New Flesh, New Flesh, a future noir tabletop RPG where cyberpunk meets biological horror. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment as well. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop RPG where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. In this tabletop RPG, you play as cybernetic nuns with guns that are trying to find the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in the website. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. Daughters of Lamb is a pay what you want game. Moving on from this, mhm, let me maximize my. There we go. I know you. You would rather watch the beautiful anime lady in the wallpaper, but to better express myself, let's continue. And this time, I want to talk about the to always remember that in tabletop RPGs, you are not forced to use the subsystems. There are many good role-playing games out there, but some of them they are hefty tomes, and they have so many rules. But as I have said in other videos, even those hefty tomes usually only have to employ a little bit like 30 or 20 pages, or depending on the system of rules, in order to carry out the session. But even still, even considering that, there are subsystems and mechanics within the rules that could feel a bit too much for some people. And this is not like in how you say um, insulting manner, like oh you can't handle that system. Sometimes you don't want to use those subsystems or mechanics. They go against your style, the way that you want to run the game. So let's say that you like any tabletop RPG, a sci-fi system, fantasy system, modern fantasy, horror, whatever. And you start to read through the rules, and you see how the combat mechanic, the way that the combat proceeds, and you think, but here it says that after dealing damage, you have to roll to see if there is a bleed effect, and you have to roll to see if the character passes out from the shock, from the pain, and you have to roll to see if the blood falls on the ground and you sleep with the blood, and you have to roll to see if you damage the armor and the weapons and the shield. And some people enjoy that level of detail. I also enjoy it, but not all the time. Excuse me, not all the time. You have to be in the mood for it, right? Sometimes I want to play Hackmaster. Amazing game, super detailed, so many nuances, super crunchy. Other times I want to play quick and classic. Quick and classic. One roll resolves the entire combat. Usually, most of the time. Usually. So it's all about your preference, but there could be some people thinking, oh no, I really wanted to play this game, but it is so complex. It has so many mechanics. The subsystems for, let's say, not only combat, but social resolution, they are so complex. Maybe you interact with a non-player character, you make your role in matters of diplomacy, and now you need to make another couple of rolls to see if they are holding a grudge against you in case that you ridicule them during a debate or something, or maybe you got along great. You got along great with the non-player character, and now you need to make a roll to see if the non-player character is going to be your steadfast ally for the rest of the campaign or something, or for a few sessions, right? And you could be thinking, oh, but that's too much. I prefer to figure out those things for myself. That's perfect. Every single tabletop RPG out there, you can do that. You can remove those mechanics, those subsystems, but uh, do not lose awareness of how those mechanics could affect the rest of the system. So, for example, the core system. If you remove those sub roles from social encounters, maybe there are some other socially related roles that are connected to those subsystems or mechanics. Perhaps you want to remove them, right? But at the same time, you see that domino effect. Oh no, but if I remove this role, then this other role cannot proceed because I need the results from this other role. Well, you either have to tweak it to change it, or remove that other role as well. So it all depends about making those precise cuts in your tabletop RPG of choice, so that you don't end up with a system that is simply not playable. And that is pretty much it. But a lot of people ignore this. They look at those systems and, oh, they are too complex. Remove those things that are too complex. If you like the rest of the mechanics and you have a perfectly workable system, and besides, maybe you end up finding yourself deciding to add those subsystems and mechanics when you master those other rules. Maybe you think, well, combat is actually second nature to me now. I know how to make the attack roll, how to deal damage, and perhaps you like the passing out from shock roll. What you're thinking, but I also want to add those rolls to see if the armor is damaged or if the sword was broken when it impacted the armor of the enemy or something. Then you decide to add them. That is, as long as you don't feel like if it's a chore. The moment you feel like it's like you have to do it, or it's such a pain, or it's such a chore, that's the signal not to add it, not to use it. But if you find yourself excited about it, and of course the rest of your group, unless you're playing a solo experience, if you're playing with others, then definitely add those rules if you find them exciting. That add that little spice or detail to the session. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative and entertaining. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe. Mm, Take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you and see you later.